My name is Ryan Schilz, and I'm in the Welding Diploma Program. I've been in the Weld Diploma Program for a year and a half. The purpose of the Weld Diploma Program is to learn basic weld techniques, repair welding, blueprint reading, and learn how to work independently. Upon completion of the program, students could possibly become a weld technician, robotic welder, quality assurance inspector, and many other things, including trade and basic factory welding. This is a 30-credit class, meaning that you can take the class in a full year. You can take this course in high school and do a mixture of high school and college like I have done. This program consists of hands-on welding classes, blueprint reading classes, trades math, as well as workplace communication and weld theory courses. The majority of the courses, the most credits, is in actual welding. We take 4 weld classes, which is stick welding, MIG welding, TIG welding, and then we take a class that puts it together, which is a mixture of blueprint reading and welding. So the first one we take is TIG welding. In TIG welding, we start by learning how to do oxy-fuel welding, which we take acetylene and oxygen, we create a flame, and then with the flame, we melt metal, and then we manually add filler material to create our weld. For this, we learn how to do basic butt joints, lap welds, edge welds, where we just melt metal together, as well as doing brazing, which is taking 2 different types of metals that don't normally melt well together, and then you braze them with kind of like a metal glue. Also for this course, we were required to make statues and other various objects out of random materials from the class for a grade, where we just melt them together with oxy-fuel. After we learn how to do basic oxy-fuel, we jump right into TIG welding, which stands for tungsten inert gas. With TIG welding, we take an electrode. With this electrode, we melt the metal, and then we also manually add filler material. For TIG welding, we do lap welds, V-welds, T-welds, vertical up T-welds, lap joints, edge joints. We melt metal together, and we also physically add the material to create our welds. Also in TIG welding, we learn how to do mild steel, stainless steel, and aluminum. Then with TIG welding, we also learn how to do pipe, and then we pressure test our pipe to make sure that our welds are correct. After we finish TIG welding, we do MIG welding. MIG welding is the normal welding that most people know, which consists of a wire wheel and a gun with an automatic trigger. When we hit that trigger, the filler material automatically goes into our weld joint where we aim it with the gun. With MIG welding, we do lap welds, V-welds, T-welds, vertical up welds, as well as many other types of welds. And then in order to complete this part of the course, we're required to do a 1-inch vertical up V-weld. The 1-inch vertical up V-weld, we test it by cutting it in select spots, and then we grind those spots down so it's a flat rectangular piece of metal, and then we bend test it. We bend to see if any slag pops out, which is, there's no slag in MIG welding, but we see if our welds are proper and that there is proper fusion and no gaps, no porosity, which could cause defects. After we do MIG welding, we jump into flux core, which is essentially the same as MIG welding, except instead of having a hard wire, it is hard wire over a flux coating. This doesn't even require gas. It's a gasless weld type where we strike our flux core to the material, and then we drag it. So we drag our flux core into our weld joint, and the flux on the inside of the metal melts our metal on the outside and creates our weld. For flux core, we learn to do lap welds, V-welds, T-welds, as well as the vertical up 1 inch, and then we have to do bend tests for this one also. For this one, it can have slag inclusions, which can cause us to fail. After taking MIG and flux, we jump right into stick welding, which stick welding is closely related to flux core. But instead of the flux on the inside, the flux is on the outside. So flux is outside of a metal electrode. With this type of welding, we drag our electrode, which the flux burns our metal on the inside and creates our weld. We learn to do lap welds, V-welds, T-welds, just like the other types, as well as a 1-inch vertical up to pass the course. And then we also bend test this one. Also, with stick welding, we do pressurized pipe. So we take pipe, we weld it, and then we pressurize it with air to see if there's any leaks to make sure our welds are good. Upon completion of this, we get right into our layout class. So we take everything we learn in print reading, which is basic weld symbols, how to read prints, everything about prints, and then we are assigned something to build. So for instance, you can be assigned a table, a chair, a desk, anything that the weld shop needs. Then in this class, we draw it up to our teacher's specs, we take it to the weld shop, and we weld it together. Also, we have to do, for our final project, we have to make something that moves, like a train, car, helicopter, plane. We have to draw it up in blueprint reading, we have to take it to the weld lab, and we have to take it together. Also during the one-year program, you do weld theory. You learn theory on MIG welding, stick welding, flux core, TIG welding, oxy-fuel, anything you need to know how to weld, you learn it in welded theory. Also, we take trades math, basic trades math, just to get adding, multiplying, division, very basic math, as well as we have to take a communications class to learn how to properly communicate in the workplace. Upon completion of the one-year program, there are many opportunities because welding is a growing field and always needed. So with this one-year diploma, you can easily make $40,000, $50,000 right out of school. It's a great job opportunity, and it's a lot of opportunities for welders.